Hi, I'm Lynn Wheatley and I'm here at AQS Quilt Week. And I'm here to show you a little tip on cutting and stitching curves. So the first thing I'd like to do is to work on the rotary cutter and how you hold that, okay? You want to always hold the rotary cutter, the butt of it, in the palm of your hand. And you want to put your index finger on the knurled part of the cutter right here. Okay, we don't want to do this. If you do this and hold your cutter like this, you're putting way too much stress on that wrist. So let's get it in the palm of the hand, put the finger here, and you have really good control while you're cutting. So now we're going to cut a couple of curves, and we're going to do that by using the So Kind of Wonderful ruler. Now this ruler has a slot in it, okay? And what's important about this, and my tip is, when you're cutting with this, you want to cut against the inside edge. Think of it kind of like going through the drive-through. You don't want to hit your rotary cutter on the outside curve. You want to tug that inside curve, okay? And we're going to cut a little slower than we do when we cut straight against the edge of a ruler. So I'm down here and I'm going to line up. I've marked my square where I want to make my cuts. I'm going to line up the inside edge of the curve with those marks. I'm going to pull the guard back, get my rotary cutter properly placed in my hand, and I'm going to slowly cut against the inside curve. This is slower than straight cutting. And there's one curve. I'm now going to rotate my square to cut my second curve. Again, I'm lining up the inside edge of my curve with my marks. And again, slowly cutting against that. So now I have my base unit. When you're cutting something that you just cut from corner to corner, again, we're just going to line that inside curve. And slowly cut up through. Now I have my 3 units cut, and we're going to head over to the sewing machine and do some stitching. Okay, here we are at the sewing machine, and I've got this nice little FAF passport provided by Amy's Quilting Center at AQS Quilt Week. It's a great little machine. I am going to lay out my units. I'm going to flip my unit over, pick it up, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to line up just the beginning of that curve. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the rest of the curve right now. I'm going to stitch a few stitches, put that needle down. Now I'm going to pick up the units in my hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these fabrics in like a zipper. Okay, think of it as a zipper and closing that zipper down. We're not going to keep them flat on the bed because that's just going to affect the bias too much. So I'm just going to slowly stitch. Curve piecing is slower than traditional straight piecing because you've got to actually create a ruffle. Okay, so as that ruffle creates, you might have to lift the presser foot. If you have an automatic machine that lifts the presser foot when you stop with needle down, even better. When I get about 1.5 inches from the end, I then switch and I use my tweezers. These are vital in this process. So I'm going to pick this up with a tweezer, the top that was on the left. I'm switching hands between the 2 units, and I'm just using that to keep guiding that 2 curved raw edges together as they go underneath the foot. And that's it. So then you can see that I've been able to produce a fairly consistent stitch line, and that's what's important with curve piecing. There's that stitch line. And that's all there is to it. But remember, the tip is to bring those fabrics up off the machine bed. Thanks so much for watching my tip on how to cut and stitch curved pieces.